There's a reason why Maserati has been the car of choice for the likes of everyone from Lionel Messi and Bradley Cooper to Luciano Pavarotti and Rocky Balboa. Maserati is known for pushing the upper limits of racing performance through bold feats of engineering and revolutionizing the sports car experience with innovative Italian design. But do you know the inspiring story of the five brothers who built Maserati? And how did Maserati become one of the most luxurious car companies in the world? Hit that like button as we uncover the amazing history of Maserati and the reason why people are ready to spend millions on their cars. Maserati cars are often the first choice for people who can afford them. These cars are way ahead of other car companies in terms of luxury and performance. But the history behind the making of Maserati is an interesting story in itself. It all starts with the story of five brothers: Alfieri, Bindo, Carlo, Ettore, and Ernesto Maserati. The Maserati brothers were born and raised in Bologna, Italy, and were all gifted mechanics and had a love for racing. Carlo, the eldest of the Maserati brothers, was the one who laid the foundations. Carlo loved designing single-cylinder engines in his spare time while working as a test driver for Fiat and Isotta for Scini. Unfortunately, Carlo's life was cut short in 1910, and his mantle fell on the shoulders of his middle brother, Alfieri. Alfieri, like Carlo, was also a gifted mechanic, having worked with engines since the age of 16. In December 1914, he founded the Società Anonima Officine Alfieri Maserati Workshop with his brothers Ettore and Ernesto. However, just 5 months later, Italy declared war on Austria-Hungary, which meant that the two eldest brothers were enlisted, while the youngest Ernesto ran the workshop in Bologna. It was during this time that Alfieri designed and patented a new, more efficient type of spark plug, which found its way into warplanes, including the one flown by the poet Gabriele D'Annunzio over Vienna. Once the war had ended, Alfieri and Ettore reunited with Ernesto and moved the workshop into larger premises at an old bottle factory. Here, the three brothers could finally begin building their legacy and soon set about assembling race cars using existing and modified parts. In 1920, Alfieri started on the Mugello circuit in a modified Sec Nesseldorf, which fell apart on the rough surface. A second disappointing start in the same year left the brothers with no other alternative. They would have to build their own car from scratch. From 1922, Maserati began working in partnership with Daihatsu, redesigning the engines of its racing cars and steering them to victory after victory. The relationship ended in 1926 as the brothers decided to stop working for others and started building their own brand. This is when they introduced the world to Maserati and its iconic trident symbol. The logo was designed by the fifth brother, Mario, and inspired by Bologna's beloved Fountain of Neptune, while its first car, the Tipo 26, was a natural progression from those Alfieri had worked on with Daihatsu. Alfieri raced the Tipo 26 for the first time in 1926, finishing first in its Grand Prix class and ninth overall. From here, Maserati established itself as a force to be reckoned with. Maserati started getting noticed by elite drivers. Legendary driver Backhanen Borzacchini joined the team in 1927, setting a speed record behind the wheel of a Maserati V4 in 1929, which would stand for another 8 years. The following year, the Tipo 26M debuted at and won the Real Premio di Roma with another amazing driver, Luigi Arcangeli, at the wheel. Following the end of World War II, Maserati immediately began work on a new breed of car, its very first Gran Turismo, a two-door coupe designed by the legendary Italian automobile designer Sergio Pininfarina. It was named the S6. It became the first Maserati road car to go into production. It was also one of the last major projects headed up by Maserati brothers Ernesto, Ettore, and Bindo, who left the company shortly after. In the late 1960s, Maserati forged a new relationship with Giorgetto Giugiaro, arguably the most influential automotive designer of modern times. The first result of the partnership was the Ghibli, a sporty 8-cylinder with dramatic lines, a sleek, shark-shaped nose, and pop-up headlights. Named after an Egyptian desert storm wind, the Ghibli was initially conceived as a limited run of 100, but became insanely popular among racers and car enthusiasts, and later Maserati produced almost 1,300 Ghibli. It was in the late 1970s and 80s that the four-door became the official car of both political and Hollywood celebrities. Maserati bagged a presidential seal of approval when Italian President Sandro Pertini adopted a Maserati Royale Edition as his state car in 1978. 4 years later, Sylvester Stallone drove a Maserati car on screen in Rocky III, with David Cronenberg using the car in his 1983 horror, The Dead Zone, and his seminal remake of The Fly, 1986. Occasional movie appearances made the brand a symbol of luxury and wealth. Many people don't know that back in the day, Ferrari was one of the top competitors of Maserati. But interestingly, after decades of bitter rivalry, Maserati and Ferrari were brought under one roof when the former was acquired by the latter's owner, the Fiat Group. More than 40 years of competition were suddenly replaced by a new drive for innovation, the first product of which was the 3200 GT, a Giugiaro-designed coupe fitted with a Ferrari engine. From this came the Spider, the car which, in 2001, saw Maserati return to the US market after a 12-year absence. To mark the new decade, Maserati is continuing its legacy of creating luxury sports cars that are not only fast and powerful, but also elegant and refined. The brand has recently introduced new models such as the Ghibli, Levante, and MC20, all of which have received rave reviews for their performance and design. Maserati has also been investing heavily in new technologies such as hybrid and electric powertrains, and is committed to reducing its environmental impact. As every car company has faced criticism for the negative impact of traditional gasoline vehicles on the environment. After the enormous success of the Tesla electric vehicles, Maserati has also announced a radical plan to electrify its entire range in near future. The luxury car brand, known for its sleek design and powerful engines, is embarking on a new era with the all-electric Gran Turismo Folgore. The $170,000 sports car, set to hit the market in 2023, boasts a 280-mile range and is the most powerful of the 3 new Gran Turismo models. The Folgore, which means lightning in Italian, was first announced in March, and a prototype was teased in April. New details have now been released, providing specifics about the car's battery pack and motors. The 92.5 kilowatt-hour battery will power 3 300 kilowatts motors, delivering an impressive 760 horsepower to the wheels. The car's performance is impressive, with a 0 to 62 miles per hour acceleration time of just 2.7 seconds and a top speed of 199 miles per hour. This puts it ahead of competitors like the Porsche Taycan GTS Sport Turismo, which Bill Gates owns, which has a 0 to 60 acceleration time of 3.5 seconds. Maserati's commitment to electric vehicles goes beyond just the Gran Turismo Folgore. The brand has announced plans to offer electric versions of all its vehicles by 2025 and to stop selling gas-powered cars by 2030. The all-electric Grecale SUV will be the next electric vehicle to be launched under the Folgore brand, with a release date set for fall 2023. While we wait, Maserati has released some juicy details of the upcoming all-electric Grecale Folgore. The car will be powered by a 105.0 kilowatt-hour battery pack, providing ample energy for the electric motors. Although the number of motors has not been confirmed, it is expected that the car will have at least 2, producing a total of 590 pound-feet of torque. This torque figure is higher than that of the Grecale Trofeo's twin-turbo 3.0-liter V6, which has 457 pound-feet. Maserati has not yet confirmed whether the battery information represents net capacity or usable capacity, but either way, the Grecale Folgore's battery is expected to be one of the larger ones in its segment. The battery of the Audi Q4 e-tron, for example, offers 77.0 kilowatt-hour of usable energy. These specifications are insane. It looks like Maserati is about to surprise the EV industry very soon. The Maserati Grecale Folgore is set to be the first of many electric vehicles from the brand, marking a new era for Maserati as it continues to push the boundaries of luxury and performance. With its impressive range and acceleration, the Gran Turismo Folgore is a true testament to the brand's commitment to innovation and sustainability. Maserati is a brand that has stood the test of time and continues to be a symbol of Italian craftsmanship, engineering excellence, and passion for motorsports. With a rich history dating back over a century, Maserati is a brand that is truly iconic and continues to be a favorite among car enthusiasts around the world. But the biggest present-day challenge in front of every car company is to adapt to electricity as soon as possible. Elon Musk's Tesla Motors is leading the EV industry at the moment, but Maserati has a history of building compelling cars. Let's see if they can compete with Tesla in the future. What are your thoughts on this? Comment down below.